From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, September the 25th, 2018. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu left Israel for the U.S. today to attend the United Nations General Assembly, where he will deliver an address Thursday afternoon. Speaking to reporters before departing, the Prime Minister again addressed last week's incident with the downing of a Russian plane by Syrian anti-aircraft fire, and said he spoke twice with Russian President Vladimir Putin and agreed that Russian and Israeli military officials will meet soon to discuss continued cooperation. Putin is said to have told the Prime Minister about Russia's decision to now provide Syria with the S-300 system, advanced surface-to-air missiles. Netanyahu's office wrote on Twitter that transferring advanced weapon systems into irresponsible hands will increase the dangers in the region, and added that Israel will continue to defend its security and its interests. U.S. President Donald Trump addressed the UN General Assembly today, where he spoke of the Iran threat and Middle East peace. He said the United States is committed to a future of peace and stability in the region, including peace between the Israelis and Palestinians. And referencing the opening of the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem this year, Trump said that aim is advanced, not harmed, by acknowledging the obvious facts. He also saluted Israel on its 70th anniversary, calling it a thriving democracy. Israel's ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, thanked the president. Taking the podium briefly after Trump, Danon said the United States leads the United Nations into a new era that ends its obsession with Israel and pushes back against the Iranian regime. Meanwhile, the American Jewish Committee, whose officials are at the UNGA this week to meet with world leaders, took out a full-page ad in today's Wall Street Journal, calling on world leaders to end the bias against Israel at the UN Human Rights Council. CEO David Harris said in the case of human rights, this obsession with Israel has tragically served to ignore or sideline the plight of countless genuine victims of abuse by governments rarely, if ever, condemned by the Human Rights Council, citing the council having issued significantly more condemnations of Israel, the only liberal democracy in the Middle East, than any of the other 192 UN member states. Thousands of Palestinians took part in violent riots yesterday along the Gaza security fence, throwing burning tires, rocks, and explosive devices at Israeli soldiers. IDF soldiers responded with riot control measures. According to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry, some 90 Palestinians were injured, and a member of the Palestinian Popular Resistance Committee taking part in riots was said to have been shot and killed. Also, 10 Palestinian boats set sail off the Gaza coast yesterday to try and breach the blockade of the Strip. Israel's Navy fired warning shots at the boats. No injuries were reported. And today, more fires were battled by Israeli firefighters who worked to extinguish 12 blazes near Israeli towns close to the Gaza fence caused by incendiary balloons sent over the fence today. Pope Francis concluded a two-day visit to Lithuania yesterday and attended the 75th anniversary of the liquidation of the Vilnius ghetto on Sunday, where he warned of present-day antisemitism. The Pope said he prayed for the gift of discernment to detect in time any new seeds of that pernicious attitude, any whiff of it that can taint the heart of generations that did not experience those times and can sometimes be taken in by such siren songs. Director of the American Jewish Committee Central Europe, who participated in the events, Agnieszka Markovich, said Pope Francis's condemnation of anti-Semitism on this tragic anniversary sends a much-needed and strong message. Lithuania observes September the 23rd as the Day of Remembrance of Lithuanian Jewish victims of genocide. On that day in 1943, 70,000 Jews were taken from the ghetto to Ponary Forest, where they were shot and buried in mass graves. Well, an arrest was made in an attack on a synagogue in Poland on Yom Kippur. We had reported to you that a rock had been thrown through the window of the new synagogue in the Polish city of Gdansk. It landed near women and children worshiping inside, but no one was injured. After releasing video footage, local police received a number of phone calls and the next day detained a man who has not yet been named. Switching gears now to look at some sports news, Jewish rookie quarterback Josh Rosen will start on Sunday for the Arizona Cardinals. The 21-year-old was the team's first-round draft pick. It was announced yesterday that he will start against the Seattle Seahawks this weekend. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, September the 25th at 7 o'clock, social activist Aaron Pulver and legal activist Simcha Rothman discussed their battle against anti-Israel initiatives and corruption within Israel's judicial system from the West Side Institutional Synagogue. At 8, remembering Ze'ev Jabotinsky. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with playwright and author Eric Hausman Houston on L'chaim. And at 10, we hear from Christian South African attorney and founder of a pro-Israel advocacy group, Olga Mesho. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, it's In the News with Mark Golub. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, September the 25th, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader.